are again. So I stopped in at my friend's. I've decided to immerse myself amongst the members of the church. So I dropped in, found out that my one friend didn't live where she lived anymore. I went to the new place where she is and she wasn't there. Then I went past somebody who looked like somebody was sitting on the front porch. And I stopped there thinking it was the mother of a friend of my daughter's. When they were little, they played together. But it wasn't the right house. But anyway, I wrote her name down and now I'll always remember it was Denise. That wasn't the mother of the daughter, it was the neighbor. But she was sitting out there and she agreed about the difficulty of winter and of the cabin fever. By the end of winter, I just need to get a place to walk and the ability to get there easily without having to deal with ice and the hill. You know, we live on a steep hill. Pretty steep. Everything looks so nice now. Can you see outside at all? It's all starting to green up. But now is a good time to look for the bird nests. Make sure, because the birds are back and they're here to put their nests in the trees. But check and make sure that you find last year's nests. Of course, we just had an ice storm and that likely pulled down a lot of things that were there right before. I found a nest that it might be a hummingbird nest. Sometimes those great big wires, the corridors, sometimes you'll find eagle nests up there. The fish eagle, which is called the osprey, and other things. I think what's so nice about people, the difference in people and nature, is people can smile back at you and they can be happy and laugh with you. You can have conversations and such. Of course, I guess I shouldn't embark on a comparison between people and plants. I mean, really. It's like there's a different kingdom, right? The animal and the plant kingdom. We're in the Animalia. Kingdom phylum. So what's our phylum? Kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species. So our species is Homo sapien. Is that right? Our species is Homo sapien. Or is sapien and Homo, are those different as like a family and species? No. Kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species. That's something we had to memorize in high school. I can't believe how early the children are learning things now. They're learning multiplication in grade 1 and division. Addition and subtraction and multiplication and division. They're learning them all. Can't believe it. And they're learning fractions in grade 2. Or is he in grade 3? Maybe it's grade 3. Grade 2 was pandemic year, I think. Half of grade 1 and all of grade 2. Kind of a hard time to miss out on school, but very repairable. So I have not learned anything new about cattails yet, but it's very much on my mind. And every time I pass cattails, I'm thinking that there will be a better time to do such a thing, like to to collect the seeds. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the seeds, but I think I'm going to find out what you can do with the seeds. Can you make paper from cattail seeds? The fluff? Can you weave with it? Can you spin it? Ah, if you can spin it. Wow. Can you imagine where you could go with that? If you could spin the cattail fluff, this would interest you, Suze. If you can spin the cattail fluff, then you can make yarn from it, which means you can crochet it or weave it. You could even, if you can spin it, you could make cordage out of cattail fluff. That's interesting. So if you can make cordage out of cattail fluff, then you could make a bag out of it. You could weave like a glasses purse or a phone case, right, that hangs on your... Oh, good morning, Infinite. Oh, my day is going wonderfully. I had church. First I went for a lovely walk and I talked to you all from the wilderness of Cindyland. And I went to church. I thought I was going to be late. I had to empty out the car because I'm going to go pick up my son after church, but I was quite late. And that was disturbing. I was thinking I was going to be going in late. I don't like going in late to church. I never go late. So if you go late, you might miss sacrament. You get locked out for the whole time sacrament is... I mean, you're not locked out, but the doors are closed, right? It's a reverend time. That is a beautiful field of grass, isn't it? Yep, just thought I'd tell you, show you what I could sew. I am the lady with the notebook. That's who I am. I'm the lady with the notebook. And that's how I go about life. I'm the lady with the notebook. I have a notebook and it's a journal. And this is my current one. And I change them out, I fill them up about every month or 2 months. So I go through a lot of journal books if I'm only writing in the paper. Those clouds, there's cumulus clouds way down there. Beautiful blue sky everywhere. But cumulus clouds on the horizon. And they're kind of pink. What does this mean? So after church, I went to get Abe. But on the way to get Abe, I stopped off at somebody's house because I heard of their health and they didn't live there, so I had to figure it out. And then I went to where they did live and they weren't home. And then I continued on and oh yeah, I told you all about that. I stopped at the house by the side of the road, and then there was another house. Oh yes, another friend, somebody else from church who is in charge of the music. And so I had two little... I'm trying to get out of my own little world. I'm trying to... And church is the best place to start, right? I also have neighbors where I've already started, but it's not the same as church. In church, it used to be we were assigned to drop in on people or to make appointments. We had family, we had home teachers and visiting teachers. I love being a visiting teacher, and that was what I would do. I've been retired all my life, except that I had to raise children while I was retired. But that's a good way to say it. I'm the lady with the book. I've been retired all my life and had to raise children while I was retired. And now I'm caring for grandchildren sometimes. I love being involved in my grandchildren's lives. Oh my gosh, what is that pain? I forgot you were there. Too busy enjoying this beautiful day. Thank you. Yes, I am doing well. Yes, and it's the beautifulest time, you know. Spring thaw is the 4th season. So we are now just at the very tail end of spring thaw. The snow is almost everywhere has turned to water. And it has been standing in some places and is starting to drain in some cases. Whereas in other cases it's accumulating. So I have 4 inches of water in the basement of my grass hut. I kid you not. I keep seeing a lot of motorcycles. That's nice, eh? Boy, I love driving with the windows open and the heaters off and the air conditioners off, and it's beautiful and it's dry. The rain will come soon. If you want to get a garden in, you got to get it in quickly before the rain comes. Because once that rain comes, you won't really be able to plant a garden for quite a while, because it'll rain for about a month. So if there's anything that you can get in when the ground is first workable, so as soon as it's not frozen on the surface, you can get your seeds in. Because when the soil warms up to 45 degrees, your seeds will germinate. So as long as they're not going to rot in the soil, you can get them in. Look, we have people painted on the side of that barn. Silhouette paintings. Kind of neat. Oh, that person in the farm walking from the farmhouse to the barn, that brings back so many memories. All the years of being a farmer. It was only 8. I was in my 20s and early 30s. I was in my 20s. But it was such an interesting life, having the farmhouse and the barn, and everybody you knew had a farmhouse and a barn. And everybody had the same job that your family had. You had chores, you had to do the chores in the morning, you get the kids off to school and help out in the barn. Or I never had kids old enough at that time. It was just preschoolers. My first one went to school, kindergarten there. Such a smart girl. So smart. Anyway, we would go and explore together. And everywhere we went, everybody had a house and a barn. And if they just had houses, then they really weren't part of the community. You know, they weren't a farmer. Maybe they were retired farmers. It's interesting driving by all these farms, barns and houses. See, but there's just the house. Now we're into a village of some sort. But that walk between that space where he was walking, this farmer I just saw, the space between the house and the barn always gave you a few minutes walk. I don't know how many minutes it took to walk it. Maybe 1 minute, maybe 2 or 3. I don't know. Time stretches out, you know. Sometimes you don't realize how much you can get done in 1 minute. Do you ever do that? Take a stopwatch and use the stopwatch and see how long you do things for. Well, I've been pretty. Oh, the daffodils are blooming. Oh, stage 1. Daffodils, and then hyacinths and tulips, then daylilies. No, then peonies. And lilacs. What is the progression? You know, I saw a friend's front yard and it had what appeared to me to be trout lily. Open, well, except for white. So trout lilies are on the ground, they're open and they're yellow, right? But they have this little leaf, a hard leaf, and it's got white splotches on it. Green with white on it. See, here's another house, and I can't show it to you, can I? Oh well. House with barn. I should have looked at it better, then I could explain it to you. I was talking to my friend, a neighbor, a young person, and I asked him, he'd just been traveling for 8 months, and I asked him what he had learned, because every time you travel you learn things, and he had learned that you have to be patient. He had learned that you need to have patience, and I remember coming back from Europe, and on the flight home I said to somebody, wasn't it wonderful to be in such and such? And they responded, we go there every year. And does that mean it was not wonderful to be there anymore? Are you now used to it? You have now, or was it a status? And being happy to go there is a lesser status than having lived there or gone there every year. Or I think sometimes that the status of having a cottage and going there every year is it seems to be a higher status than living there. It's interesting the dynamics that you find as you communicate with people, their perceptions of people's rank. And we certainly have a class, just the lower class, the upper class, the middle class, you know, not that. But we really have, can you think of any untouchables among us? You know, you picked them out. I didn't pick them out. You picked them out with your brain. So we have all got a class system in our brains. There are people that we think are very worthy, people worth emulating, people whose lives are like the Savior's life, people whose lives are good and good to everybody and not selfish. People who have made differences in their communities. I have a cousin like that. I'm not sure he realizes that what he has done because he's always been doing it. He was a doctor in his community, and he retired, and when he retired, being part of the community and knowing all the people and knowing the needs of the people, he was able to do all kinds of things. Like they now have a theater for theatrical acting, and they have an art place, and I think there's a market there. But you know, like there's people that make a difference, and so when you think of certain people that fall into that category, that's a certain class of people in your mind. There's a tree back there. He's pretending to be a bittern. Have you ever seen an American bittern? It's a brown. We have that same. Okay, so I don't need that now. So I need to get back out here. I think I was in the middle of saying something very profound, but I have no idea what it was. Oh wait, I just learned patience. He's a little late with that one. Ha. Please pay attention to the road. Hi, Nancy. Yes, I am trying to pay attention to the road. Being a good girl here. I'm on the shoulder to get off for the phone call. So I could pay attention to the road and you just get to see that all the time, or I could move it around and then I'm not paying attention to the road and then everybody could freak out. I like that house. That house has another house attached to it. It's a rambling house. So I'm gonna go pick up Abe and he's gonna stay with me. I'm not sure for how many days. I guess it just depends on, I'm not sure what it depends on. But anyway, I'll take him back sometime within the week or at the end of the week. I was telling you that I am trying to fill up this void in my life from losing Mary. I'm filling it up with the gospel and with the church and the members of the church. I'm trying to, and with my relatives, I'm trying to come out of my hobbit hole and be part of the community at large. But I'm starting with the church members most. I think that's good. I guess I'm starting everywhere I am. Just trying to come out of hibernation. Boy, those are beautiful reddish clouds over the, it's over the St. Lawrence River, I guess. Be nice to go down and look at the river. He'll probably want to get in the car and go straight home. No, let's go. Let's just go, Mom. Let's go. You miss everything that way. If the journey is only this point to that point and anything in between is simply thoroughfare for me to get from this point to that. They should take away cars and roads. Yeah, if we all had to ride horses and walk, we probably wouldn't be so worried about going so far. Works of iron. Hey, that's an iron whatever. My cousin Izzy, he's in Millerton. He's got Battle Hill Forge, and he spends all his day doing metal. These three girls jumping on the trampoline, waving and chanting to all the passersby. Passers-by. Now, isn't that an interesting word, passers-by, instead of passer-buyers? Grandma with grandchild on her lap on a big sitting on it tractor. Not tractor. Lawnmower. Tractor lawnmower. That was, I don't know what it's called. You see more cars about. Of course, if I'm out about, that's probably why. Everybody's enjoying the day in their own way. Some don't realize it's a beautiful day. Some have every range of emotion. I asked everybody in Relief Society one week, I was teaching the lesson, and I asked everybody to give me one emotion that kind of was a bit prevalent in your life this week. And so I got knocked in the head with a stick this morning. So on my walk with you through Cindyland, it hurts. Anyway, all the greenhouse stuff is out. It's not quite time to sell all that stuff. Some people get outside as soon as the snow is off the ground, and they rake it, and they dig in it, and they plant in it, and they tend it. And then the weather changes, and everything carries on, and you just grow what you planted, right? This year, I think the cattails are getting quite close to popping out of the ground. So I think I better check some fields. I better go to the wilderness. You shouldn't dig them up near roads, but there are some roads that that there's only a very, very few people on. There's some right there, right? But I wouldn't, and there's more in the ditch. But you can't eat them because of the traffic. Cattails clean the water. So if the water is polluted, cattails are perfect for it. I should have a lot more cattails growing in my marsh. A lot more. The muskrats ate all the roots, so I don't have very many. They were growing really well. They were threatening to take over the great expanse that is Fiddlehead Pond. But it wasn't to be, not that time. Now the beavers have cut down everything small, and they're working on all the bigger stuff. I'm not sure exactly where they're working. I know they're working beyond the cement bridge, which is fine. That's a perfect place to work. I'd rather he doesn't. I think I'm losing the moat road. That's kind of a big deal. Losing the moat road to the beaver dam. Should I add more gravel and make the road higher? But if I do that, you know what that means. That means I have to go to the gravel pit with my trailer on the back of this car, and for $20 it'll fill up. It'll give me a quarter of a bucket load, or half a bucket load, or half a yard. Okay, look at this. All these shiny cars at this intersection. Oh, sorry. Can't put you up there. is getting the visor out of the way. You know how it goes. Okay, now we're ready, and nobody's moving. My turn. Okay. You know, it'd be fun to do a video on how to drive. Just drive and talk with a video on where you're going, and just do that and explain when you're looking here and you're looking there, and you kind of need a split screen. One side showing the road, and the other side showing you moving your head side to side to look out the windows, mirrors, you know. Sure looks clean here. Wow. Maybe I've just cleaned my glasses lately. I guess it's the green is so green against the everything else. My mind goes to weird places sometimes. But I think as long as you know that it's gone to a weird place, you're okay. You can hang around in the weird place for a while, and then you can just jump back out of it. I get these stupid ideas that are, I don't know, related to things going on, I guess. Can arm. Now is can arm, is that the Canada arm? I don't know. We deliver shingles to the roof. That's nice. Very helpful. Do you stay there the whole time and hand them up as needed? I've never been to this mall. Look, there's a Dollarama. So what is that? A Real Canadian Superstore, pharmacy, Choice something, Pepperettes or something. Walmart, pickup, pharmacy. Okay, this is important, I think. Well, it's certainly been nice having someone to talk to. I'm sure this has been rather boring for most people, but you know, it was nice if somebody was there. Thanks for stopping by. Did I read everything anyone said? Oh, about him learning patience. When you're a teenager, I mean, there's different levels of patience, eh? And you're still learning patience your whole life. Like, you ever actually get it? It's when your patience is tried. Many things try our patience, don't they? And so you can keep learning patience your whole life. Anyway, but he learned to wait things, you know, to wait for things. You don't get what you want when you want it. But if you wait, you will. Or you might. There's no guarantees, but we have hope. Right? Hope is smiling brightly ahead of us. Hope is the sunshine that comes out tomorrow. The sun that lives up above all the clouds. That is our hope. Our knowledge. It's knowledge, but there was something about faith the other day I heard. I forget. But anyway, hope is what I've been dealing with, because this loss that I have felt when my cousin died, it left a hole, which I am now trying to fill with the gospel and church people and such, and I'm healing. It's working. I'm healing. I'm getting better. And I'm trying to remember, you know, Mary was always trying to see the positive in everything. It's very easy to lose hope, I think, these days. Whether you listen to the left-wing news or the right-wing news, the future's not very bright anymore, is it? But the prophet keeps saying the future is very bright. The Lord will show forth his power in his wondrous power. Well, I hope that doesn't mean we're going to all get volcanoed. Okay, it's time to go. I'm going to say goodbye now. It's been nice chatting with you. Bye-bye.